Yo, it's your boy Logos. And I heard about the House Speaker being removed from his position, which I think is the first time it's ever happened in history, and I really don't understand why. I'm not really knowledgeable about the events, his promises, and the stuff he did or didn't do, or the reason why his fellow Republicans want to remove him. So I'm hoping this video from Breaking Points can get some more information, insight into all these events that are taking place. I do like the fact that people are holding others accountable. Hopefully we can see some changes or some legislation or anything to help everyday Americans. Hopefully this is a path of getting that, but I don't know. So hopefully I can learn some more about this stuff and provide some input on it. So let's get into it.
Hello, everybody. Some breaking news here in Washington. It's official. The House has voted. Kevin McCarthy has been ousted as the Speaker of the House of Representatives, number 3 in line to the presidency. Let's take a listen to the official declaration.
On this vote, the yeas are 216, the nays are 210. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. The office of Speaker of the House of the United States House of Representatives is hereby declared vacant.
Very, very high drama here in Washington. Kevin McCarthy, for those who want to know, is now the shortest-lived speaker since Speaker Michael C. Kerr, who served previously from December 1875 to August of 1876. He ended his speakership because he died of tuberculosis, or consumption, I guess, as they called it at the time. So 8 Republicans voted to oust Speaker McCarthy, which is really puts us in a massive what-if phase. Their names are as follows. We've got Congressman Andy Biggs, Ken Buck, Tim Burchett, Eli Crane, Matt Gaetz, Bob Good, Nancy Mace, and Matt Rosendale. So actually all across the spectrum, 7 of those is basically House Freedom Caucus types. Nancy Mace, much more of like a centrist type who actually has been helped by Kevin McCarthy in the past. I'm just going to lay out 3 scenarios from where we go from here because we genuinely have no idea. And the vote just happened. So McCarthy, he could just grind this out for a few more votes. He could cut deals with some of the 8 Republicans who voted against him. If he wins back, let's say 3 or 4, depending on the attendance within the House, he survives. People in D.C. actually have no idea right now if he even wants to hang on after all this nonsense. He could pull a Boehner and just say, you know what? Screw it. I would continue to be one of the weakest speakers. I don't want to deal with this every single time that I have to try and govern. Forget it. It's possible. If he continues to grind it out, he might continue to make votes. We'll see which way it goes. The other option is he says, screw it. I'm done. He either resigns the House or he just steps back to a normal member. Then there's a huge scramble for who the hell is in the GOP is going to replace him, who can get a majority of the votes. So the last time that the GOP actually faced this, it was probably John Boehner stepping down. Paul Ryan was basically drafted. He didn't want to be the speaker, but they were like, hey, Paul, you're the only one who we can all agree on. Former vice president.
I do remember that. That was like, what, 3 years ago when Paul Ryan was like thrust into that position. I do remember hearing about that. But honestly, I don't know the events that took place where Ryan left or anything else like that. And to be honest with you, I haven't heard Paul Ryan's name in the past couple of years. So maybe he stood back, or maybe I'm just not aware as much as I should be. So if you have more information about that case or anything involving this whole situation, put in the comments down below or any video or anything like that. I'll be more than happy to learn.
Presidential person. Obviously, his speakership was basically a similar disaster, and there's a reason that he ended up leaving Congress and ended up hating the job. Before that was 1998. Newt Gingrich stepped down as the speaker. They ended up in 20.
I just want to go back because I want to understand who he was referring to just now. My fault.
Can all agree on. Former vice presidential person. Obviously, his speakership was basically a similar disaster, and there's a reason that the president basically drafted. He didn't want to be the speaker, but they were like, hey, Paul, you're the only one who we can all agree on. Former vice presidential person. Obviously, his speakership was
okay, so that was Paul Ryan talking about.
There's a reason that he ended up leaving Congress and ended up hating the job.
Oh, really?
Before that was 1998. Newt Gingrich stepped down as the speaker. They ended up in 24 hours. The party was able to push Dennis Hastert forward. He had the votes. Obviously, didn't work out so well considering what Hastert went on to do. That's a whole other story. The current leading contenders from those who I've spoken with in Washington, this is kind of the list. Number 1 is Tom Emmer. People don't know Tom Emmer. He's the number 3 Republican in the House, Minnesota Republican. He's been there since 2015. He's the whip. He previously been involved in the NRCC. He pursued some statewide office in the state of Minnesota. So, more of a Midwestern type Republican, pretty standard cookie cutter. He's basically the leader because number 2, the Republican leader, Steve Scalise, is sadly undergoing cancer treatment after everything else he's had to deal with in his life. And
Yeah.
he's very sick. So people don't expect him to even want the speakership right now.
Oh no.
Other contenders are people like Jim Jordan. I think Jim Jordan is a very strong dark horse candidate. I said it
Yeah.
earlier this morning on the show.
I've heard a lot about Jim Jordan. Not like, okay, when I say a lot, I mean in comparison to other politicians and other senators and such and so forth. Have heard Jim Jordan names a lot. And I can see that as a dark horse candidate because he has been pushing more conservative values or semi anti-woke values. So that put more in the forefront. So who knows, maybe you could have some type of leeway with that. Plus he seems moderately younger compared to Mitch McConnell, who blanks out once every month or something like that. So that doesn't surprise me, really. I don't know about Tom Emmer.
Freedom Caucus, very popular, beloved by Trump, beloved by MAGA. Obviously,
Yeah,
he's behind a
exactly.
lot of the Biden investigation,
Yeah,
all
exactly.
that stuff.
That's how I know.
But he also backed up Kevin McCarthy. I think some establishment GOP types could hold their nose and they could vote for him. Another option, I actually think, and I was just speaking with someone today, Byron Daniels. So Byron, obviously, is a new star in the GOP. Trump loves this guy. He also led some of the initial fight against Kevin McCarthy, but then did vote for him this time around. So, guy willing to play ball, all that stuff. I think that would be, he'd
Oh,
have
Byron
political constituency,
Daniels.
have the ability to get it done.
Oh, okay. I know who Byron Daniels is. Because I think when I did a video, I can't remember what video it was. It might have had something. Oh, yeah, I remember now. It was talking about how the black community always votes Democrat. And my whole point is not that you should just vote Republican or just vote one way, but have some type of leverage. Don't just automatically have these people assume you're going to vote for them. Like, that's what I don't like. You can't be doing such a type of things where you can have Biden say, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. That tells you right there he has an expectation of black people vote for him just because he's a Democrat. And he's so comfortable and crazy to say that he could dictate whether or not you're black or not, depending on your vote. But in that video, I was talking about Byron Daniels and a few other like black Republicans that are good men, have families, have good backgrounds. I think a couple of those guys were former military. I think Byron Daniels actually is former military, I think. And I just looked him up on my phone. So yeah, I do remember him. I would be a supporter of that. I do like Byron Daniels. I need to get more into his policies and politics. There's just so much stuff to do nowadays.
Another name, Elise Stefanik. Elise is so ambitious. The problem and she also beloved by Trump. Trump even floated her as a potential vice presidential candidate. She led the charge on impeachment. She has the ability potentially to unite the caucus. The issue, from what I've heard, is that Elise Stefanik may not have enough credibility on conservative spending issues that these other two candidates would have for the Freedom Caucus types to go with her. Another name that was floated, I actually don't know much about this person, is Congressman Mike Johnson, but apparently he's not necessarily pursuing them. All these are massive maybes. There's no indication any of these people even want the job. Whether McCarthy's going to be out of this job. I mean, wow, just it's massive. I truly, this is stunning. It's the first time it's happened. Even the vote itself in over 100 years. So the big question right now, how does this get resolved? I don't know. Nobody in this town can tell you. So the House is currently not allowed under their rules to do literally anything else except continue voting for Speaker until we get a majority vote. So it's going to be fun. We're going to be rolling.
It's going to be fun, but they also need to get this stuff on the road because you can't be holding up government, bills, legislation because of this. Like, I understand that we need to get this guy out, but also at the same time, we need to work on the replacement as soon as possible, and a good one. You can't be holding up government, people's lives, people's futures, because you want to play politics. Similar to the government shutdown.
People, we're going to have votes and votes and votes and votes. We could be stuck here for a long time, just like we were last time around, whenever I think it took 15 ballots from McCarthy to even get the speakership. Counterpoint's going to have a great show for everybody tomorrow morning. I'm certain that a ton of news is going to be breaking overnight. They'll break it down for all of you. Ryan in particular has got some great Capitol news sourcing and reporting. So everybody enjoyed the show, and shout out to the premium members who enable us to be able to do these snap breaking news events and all that. It does cost money, and it helps our team. Everybody has to be on call for the entire day. So that's what we do over here. We love you guys, and I will see you all on Thursday. You guys will have a great Counterpoint show tomorrow.
So if you want me to react to this Counterpoint show, or if they cut up in the clips, definitely let me know, because I will do that because I want to get more information, especially as it's currently like breaking and currently happening. At least this story isn't something like, I don't know, any other event. Most majority of events, the events happen, they take place, and people report on it. It's rare that every now and then we can get something that's currently actively going that could change any minute or any day. But like I said, hopefully they can finish this stuff or finalize a new Speaker of the House as soon as possible. You can't be holding up government, bills, or anything else because you want to play politics. But getting this guy out sounds pretty good to me, because I saw from just some online opinions, so it could be bullshit, but people were saying that he didn't fulfill promises, he had an ego, all this other stuff. But honestly, I don't know for sure. Those were just those people words. That doesn't mean it's fact. So if you have videos, any knowledge and information, articles, stuff like that for me to read, react to, definitely let me know. And I'll definitely do it, because this is the type of stuff I listen to or want to get into my free time anyway. But doing it with the channel and giving your opinion helps out the discussion. And this is important discussions to be had, especially compared to all the bullshit they try to distract us with in the media. I really don't give a shit about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce dating, even if I've been a football fan my whole entire life. I just care about football, but I don't care about the distractions. But this stuff right here really matters, and this conversation really needs to be happening. So let's have it. Let me know what you think. Like, share, and subscribe. It's your boy Logos, and I'll see you next time. Peace.